Welcome everybody into our Gunsaholic Anonymous meeting for the week, where we tell our loved ones we're getting the help we need, but we know we're here to talk about guns. So today I have a very interesting pistol, something I didn't even know existed until about a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago now, is the Sig P232 chambered in .380. Now I just want to do a check, make sure we are empty, and we are safe to handle this firearm. And this gun is something that I walked into the gun store and I did not expect to see. This was sitting in the cabinet next to all the other SIGs, and I had never seen anything like this before. So this gun was discontinued in 2015, but they started producing this all the way into the 70s, and it was actually called the P230. Now, the real main difference that you could tell if it's a 232 or a 230, except for the name, of course it's printed right there on the slide, is going to be your slide serrations. So you have a very wide pattern here for your slide serrations, of course on both sides. But the 230, the slide serrations are very thin lines. So it's very thin. There's probably like 30 of them there, of course, again, on both sides. And except for a couple other internal changes, they're really the same gun. So what happened? How did I get this gun? So I walk into the gun store, and of course, as you can see, I'm a SIG guy. You know, I don't have anything against any other company. I own a lot more than just SIG. But I saw this sitting in the cabinet next to all the other SIGs, something I had never seen. Of course, it did have the black original Sig Sauer grips. These are wood grips I got from Hogue. And if you try to use the original screws that they come with, they are too long and they will not work on your new grips. So I had to go back to Hogue and buy a set of screws, and they worked flawlessly. So what would happen is if I would tighten this screw down, and this screw would actually pinch the magazine. And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I couldn't get the mag out. I was pulling and pulling, and then you can see did a little bit of damage to my mags, but the mag still functions, and this is the mag I keep in it. I actually have 2 more mags, and again, we'll talk about that. So, how did I get this gun? So, of course, I asked to see the gun, and the guy behind the counter had no problem. He pulled it out. I handled the firearm, and I actually pointed to the P230 that he had in the cabinet. And then right next to it was the 232. So I said, what's the difference between them? And he said, not really much. Again, some more internal stuff. The 230 is older than the 232. The 232, they swapped over in the 90s some point. I think 94 or 96, something like that. And I said, I'll take it. And then I saw that this one had 3 mags, and the other one only had the mag that came in it. So this one had the mag that came in it plus 2 more. I said, actually, do you mind if I swap them and I take the other one? Because they're the same price, but this one came with 3 mags. And he goes, no, that's not a problem. So grabbed this one, took it home, took it out to the range, and it is a lot of fun to shoot. This gun is actually very accurate, believe it or not, being a small 7+1 gun. Because, why is this gun so accurate? It's because it's a fixed barrel. So actually that's your takedown lever. And then you just pull back on the slide, pick up, and your slide comes off. That's your recoil spring. And the barrel is fixed. So there you go. To put it back, just take your recoil spring it kind of clicks on there. That way it doesn't fall off. There you go. Take that spring, push in. It does take a little bit of finagle. There it is. Lock it back up, and you're good to go. There is no way to lock the slide back unless you have the magazine inserted. As soon as you do that, you can lock the slide back. So there you go, made in Germany. And there is no way to actually release the slide with the magazine in it. So I pop the mag out a little bit, pull back, the slide goes home, I push my magazine back in. This is a single action, double action firearm. So right now you can see we're in single action, the hammer's back. And this lever right here, which I thought was the mag release in the beginning, because again, I've never seen this gun before, is the decocker. So that way you can release your hammer nice and safely without hitting the firing pin. And now, boop, you're ready to carry. Put that in a holster. And that's what this gun is really made for. It is made for concealed carry. And now, in today's standards, probably not so much. In today's standards, we have the P232, we have the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, we've got the Glock 43X, which is all, higher capacity, lighter than this. This thing is very heavy. Although it only comes in at about 26 ounces. So light, but it just feels much heavier than it should be. Probably because it's an all-metal frame. The slide is stainless steel. Now you can find a model, SL, which means the entire thing is stainless steel, which means your frame was actually stainless steel. This one is aluminum. But you get 5 more ounces, so you're at like 31 ounces for this little gun. I mean, I know full-size guns that don't weigh 31 ounces. But it does feel really good in the hand. Now, if you have big hands like I do, you could, and I did, get a little scratch right here. A little slide bite. I didn't bleed or anything. I felt it go across because I was trying to be mindful and keep my grip a little bit lower, but it did scratch me. But as soon as I lowered my thumb, it was able to slide on my hand, no problem. So this one does not have the night sights, but the newer models did come with night sights. So this one would make me believe it was probably sometime in the 90s when they didn't come out with the night sights yet. If this firearm, now again, only a sample of one, has a very nice 4-pound single action pull. So let's pull the trigger for you. Let's do that again. We'll cock the hammer. There's a little take up like there usually is on single action triggers. Single action, double action triggers, I should say. So there's some take up. There's no weight. You get to a wall, and then it's just straight through. 4 pounds. Double action is going to be around, I think, 12 pounds, 11 or 12 pounds. And it's just pressure all the way through. But it's not too bad. I have felt worse double action trigger pulls. So, you guys let me know down in the comments if you prefer the wood grips or would you like the traditional black grips on this firearm. I thought the wood grips on it made it look really nice, and I only paid about $74 for those grips. They have wood grips with checkering and grip on it, but that's not what this gun is. This gun is a showpiece, really. You know, it's a fun piece to take out to the range, but it's not something that you take all the time. But, so that's why I went with the nicer wood grips. The last thing I want to talk about is price. How much did I pay for this gun? So actually, this gun went for about $450 back in the day, back in the 70s. To adjust for inflation, it's around $650, $670, something around there. And that's exactly what I paid for this firearm, is $670. I did think this was a very interesting gun. It had a very interesting story behind it, and I'd like to share it. And I wanted to share it with you guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a nice thumbs up. Helps us out a lot because we are a new channel, and I want to bring you guys into our little community that we're trying to build here, our GA community. So I do appreciate if you stuck all the way to the end, and if you did, let me know that by hitting that subscribe button. Until our next Gunsaholic Anonymous meeting, that's going to be it for this week. Thanks, guys.